It was one of the bloodiest days in what has been a week that has been marked by triple-digit death tolls each and every day. The regime of President Bashar al-Assad was clearly on the attack. In the embattled city of Aleppo, the regime's fighter jets pounded the city, dropping bombs on the Free Syrian Army as well as civilian positions. In Daraa, tanks were seen moving in on the outskirts of that city, expected to go on the attack as well as civilians scurried for shelter. Amnesty International issued a report charging the regime with targeting its own civilians in an act that could be construed to be a war crime.
In the 10 days that I spent in Aleppo, I looked at case after case of families, people who were killed in their homes, out when they were buying food, especially when they were queuing up to buy bread, and people were even killed in the very places where they had gone for safety. People who had fled their homes and were staying with friends and family, or were staying in schools. Those places too came under attacks.
Amnesty International also pointed a finger at the Free Syrian Army, saying their fighters were guilty of war crimes for executing prisoners seized during combat. In the very corner of the country, along the border with Iraq, the Free Syrian Army claimed that it had pushed back regime forces and taken control of important checkpoints right at the Iraqi border. They said they were going to try new tactics, different from what was used in Aleppo, so their forces could not be as easily targeted by the regime and its superiority in terms of air power. Meantime, in Turkey, U.S. officials joined talks that are expected to focus on the threat posed by the suspected chemical arsenal being held by Syria. They were also expected to focus on the worst-case scenario, a scenario that many Syrians could contend they're living every day. Jim Clancy, CNN Beirut.